in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, where the bustling streets were alive with energy and the aroma of roasted plantains lingered in the air, lived one of Africa's youngest billionaires, Kunle Adebayo. At just 32, Kunle was the CEO of Adebayo Holdings, a conglomerate that spanned real estate, tech, and agriculture. His life seemed perfect to the outside world: private jets, luxury cars, and invitations to exclusive events. But behind the glitz and glamour was a man yearning for something he couldn't buy: true love. Kunle had been burned too many times. Women seemed to fall for his bank accounts rather than the man behind it. His heart had been shattered by gold diggers and opportunists who saw him as a ticket to a life of luxury. Despite his wealth, Kunle was lonely, and his trust in love had eroded. One fateful evening, as Kunle sat in his sprawling penthouse overlooking the Lagos skyline, his childhood friend and confidant, Chike, proposed an idea. "Kunle, you've been going about this the wrong way," Chike said, sipping a glass of wine. "You've got to step away from all this." He gestured around the opulent apartment. "Disguise yourself, live like an ordinary man, meet someone who loves you for who you are, not what you have." Kunle chuckled. "You've been watching too many Nollywood movies, Chike." "I'm serious," Chike insisted. "Go undercover. Be Kunle, the regular guy, not Kunle the billionaire. It's the only way to find out who's real." After weeks of deliberation, Kunle decided to take Chike's advice. He would disappear from the world of private jets and designer suits and step into the shoes of an everyday Nigerian. He donated his beard-styled wardrobe and swapped his luxury cars for a battered Toyota Corolla. He rented a modest one-bedroom apartment in a middle-class neighborhood in Surulere. To complete the transformation, he took a job as a cashier at a local supermarket under the name Kunle Balogun. On a humid Saturday afternoon, Kunle was manning the cash register when she walked in. Ifeoma was unlike any woman he had ever seen. Her ebony skin glowed under the fluorescent lights, and her laughter was infectious. She wore a simple Ankara dress, and her braided hair was tied back in a bun. She was unpretentious, with an air of confidence that captivated him. "Good afternoon," she greeted, placing a basket of groceries on the counter. Kunle's heart raced. "Good afternoon," he managed to reply, his voice steadier than he felt. As he scanned her items, they exchanged small talk. Kunle learned that Ifeoma was a teacher at a local primary school and was passionate about helping underprivileged children. She was witty, kind, and had a warmth that drew him in. For the first time in years, Kunle felt a spark. Over the next few weeks, he found himself looking forward to her visits. Ifeoma often stopped by after work to pick up groceries, and their conversations grew longer. Kunle admired her intelligence and her genuine concern for others. She spoke passionately about her dream to open a learning center for street children, and her selflessness humbled him. Determined to get to know her better, Kunle mustered the courage to ask Ifeoma out. "Would you like to grab a drink sometime?" he asked nervously. She smiled. "I'd like that." Their first date was at a small roadside suya spot. Over spicy grilled meats and cold bottles of malt, they talked for hours. Ifeoma shared stories about her childhood in Enugu and her struggles to make ends meet. Kunle, careful not to reveal his true identity, spoke of growing up in Lagos and his dreams of one day owning a small business. As weeks turned into months, their bond deepened. Kunle found himself falling for Ifeoma. She was different from anyone he had ever met. She didn't care about material things. Her joy came from simple pleasures, a child's laughter, a good book, or a stroll on the beach. But as their relationship blossomed, Kunle's guilt grew. He had lied to her about who he was, and he knew the truth would eventually come out. Chike urged him to come clean, but Kunle hesitated, afraid of losing the one person who seemed to love him for himself. One sunny afternoon, Kunle and Ifeoma took a trip to Lekki Conservation Center. As they walked along the canopy walkway, Ifeoma turned to him. "Kunle, there's something I need to ask you," she said, her tone serious. "You're different. I've noticed things that don't add up. Like how you always pay for everything in cash, yet you never complain about money. And you've got this polished way of speaking that doesn't match the life you say you've lived. Who are you really?" Kunle's heart sank. He knew he couldn't keep up the charade any longer. Taking a deep breath, he said, "Ifeoma, there's something I need to tell you. I haven't been completely honest." She folded her arms, waiting. "I'm not just a cashier. My real name is Adekunle Adebayo. I'm a billionaire." Ifeoma stared at him, her expression unreadable. "You're joking, right?" Kunle shook his head. "I'm not. I disguised myself to find someone who would love me for who I am, not for my money. And that's how I met you." For a long moment, Ifeoma said nothing. Then she turned and walked away. Kunle was devastated. Days turned into weeks, and Ifeoma didn't return his calls or texts. He threw himself into work, but nothing could fill the void she had left. Chike tried to console him, but Kunle knew he had only himself to blame. Just when he thought all hope was lost, Ifeoma showed up at his office. She walked past the stunned receptionist and into his executive suite, where Kunle sat behind a massive desk. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," she began. "You hurt me, Kunle. You lied to me. But I've also realized that the man I fell for is still the same man standing in front of me. The man who made me laugh, who listened to my dreams, who cared about me. I just need to know one thing. Was any of it real?" Kunle rose from his chair and crossed the room to her. "Every moment was real, Ifeoma. I love you. I've never been more sure of anything in my life." Tears filled her eyes. "I love you too, Kunle. But if we're going to make this work, there can't be any more secrets." "No more secrets," he promised. Kunle and Ifeoma's relationship grew stronger than ever. True to her nature, Ifeoma insisted on maintaining her independence, continuing to teach while also working on her dream of opening a learning center. Kunle supported her every step of the way, using his resources to help bring her vision to life. Their love story became the stuff of legend, a tale of trust, redemption, and finding true love against all odds. And as they stood together at their wedding, surrounded by friends and family, Kunle knew he had finally found what he had been searching for all along: a partner who loved him for the man he was, not the wealth he possessed. Life after the wedding wasn't without its challenges. Kunle and Ifeoma had to navigate the complexities of their worlds colliding. Ifeoma's transition from her modest lifestyle to being the wife of a billionaire came with its own set of adjustments. The media's attention was relentless, with tabloids spinning stories about their relationship. But Ifeoma remained grounded, refusing to let the glitz and glamour change her essence. Kunle, on the other hand, found solace in Ifeoma's unwavering support. She became his sounding board, offering insights that helped him make better decisions in his business ventures. Inspired by her passion, Kunle launched a foundation to support education for underprivileged children, naming it the Ifeoma Initiative. Together, they traveled across Nigeria, funding schools, training teachers, and providing scholarships to deserving students despite their busy schedules. Kunle and Ifeoma made it a point to prioritize their relationship. They often retreated to a small beach house in Badagry, where they spent weekends away from the chaos of their lives. Those moments filled with laughter, long walks on the beach, and heartfelt conversations reminded them of what truly mattered. 3 years into their marriage, a scandal threatened to disrupt their happiness. An ex-flame of Kunle's surfaced, claiming he had fathered her child. The news spread like wildfire, and Ifeoma found herself in the eye of the storm. While Kunle vehemently denied the allegations and ordered a DNA test to prove his innocence, the damage to their public image was done. Behind closed doors, Ifeoma struggled with feelings of betrayal and doubt. Kunle's transparency and efforts to reassure her were unrelenting. "Ifeoma, I would never betray your trust," he said one night, holding her hands. "You are my everything. We'll face this together." When the DNA results cleared Kunle's name, Ifeoma breathed a sigh of relief. The experience, though painful, strengthened their bond. It reminded them that their love could weather any storm as long as they stood united. As the years passed, Kunle and Ifeoma's love story inspired many. They became known not just for their philanthropy, but for their genuine affection for each other. They welcomed 2 children, a boy and a girl, who brought even more joy to their lives. Ifeoma instilled in them the values of humility and compassion, while Kunle taught them the importance of hard work and integrity. On their 10th wedding anniversary, Kunle surprised Ifeoma with the renewal of their vows. The ceremony, held at the learning center they had built together, was a celebration of their journey. A journey that began with a chance meeting in a supermarket and blossomed into a partnership that changed countless lives. As they danced under the starlit sky, Kunle whispered in Ifeoma's ear, "Thank you for loving me for who I am." She smiled, her eyes glistening with tears. "Thank you for letting me see the real you." Hope you enjoyed this tale. Do well to like, share, and subscribe.